Hi, this is Joe Bastios, Course Director for EDM 613 Media Asset Creation, and this little video is an overview of the Leadership Project. Basically, the Leadership Project is a 2-month project based on your capstone project. You're going to either create an article or a presentation based on your capstone project that will be shared following graduation. Now, one thing that has been a little bit confusing in the past, the project is based on the capstone project, but it is not directly related to your month 12 final presentation or any other EDM reflection project. So this is separate from what happens in month 12 in terms of the final presentation. Just want to make sure that we're on board with that. So let's talk about the deliverables. So each week you'll do a leadership blog post, and then there's actually the leadership document itself. And then during week 3, our WIMBA session, you will share that document. So let's talk about the blog posts. So the first one, week 1, is deciding on whether you want to publish or present. Pretty self-obvious, in terms of your decision. When you do the blog post, we don't want you to just make a decision, but also share the process. Which one, pros and cons, which one are you more comfortable with, which one will stretch you more, and that sort of thing. Week 2, once you've decided where you want to, or which one you want to do, then the decision needs to be made about where you want to do it. So we'll talk about this in a bit. There is a place where you can go for what we call a starters list or beginning list of all kinds of conferences and publications that you can key into. And so for week 2, that's what you probably focus on and make your choices based on what you know. And then week 3 is the Leadership Project Hub. This is going to be the main place where I'm going to go when I go to grade this project. And in this blog post, you should have a 1 or 2 paragraph description of your project, your leadership project, where you want to share it. And then it should have links to the 2 previous leadership blog posts, the publish and present, where do I want to share, and then a link also to your document so that I could click it and then pull down the document and go ahead and read it, or if it's a presentation file, go ahead and go through the presentation file itself. So that's due at the end of week 3. And then week 4 won't actually count towards the leadership project grade. But it will count towards your blogging grade. And this blog post will be a leadership role model reflection, where you get a chance to kind of take a step back and kind of think about who it is or what organizations mean the most to you in terms of the values that you believe in as far as leadership goes. And then we have the actual leadership document itself. So if you decide to do a paper, it should be about 2,000 words, or depending on the publication, if the publication accepts more than 2,000 words or requires more than 2,000 words, then that will be the option. If the publication where you want to submit says that their word limit is 500, then that's not going to qualify for this particular assignment. It needs to be at least 2,000 words, and then you can use capstone subheads kind of as your structure to build the paper. If you decide to do a presentation, then it should be 5 slides minimum, and I'm using that number 5 to kind of connote the 5 different sections of your capstone project. So obviously it can be more than 5 slides, and the speaker's notes, the parts that you will write for your presentation, should be about 1,500 words. Not on the screen itself, that would be bad presentation zen, but in the speaker's notes. So then a rough draft of whatever it is that you're going to be turning in for the leadership project, either a paper or a presentation file. A rough draft of that needs to be posted in our Google Doc. We have a Google Doc where you signed up for your blog URL and your capstone URL. If you look down below, there's a little tab that says Week 3 WIMBA. You click there, and there's a place for you to sign up for the Week 3 WIMBA session. And 24 hours before our session, you'll need to go ahead and put the link to your document. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But the rough draft will be shared during the session Wednesday of week 3. And then on when the project itself is due, then on Monday of week 4, we should have the complete first draft. So whatever it is that you're going to be turning in, this should represent that work. Now, we recognize in a lot of ways that, especially in academic writing, the first draft is generally not the final draft. So, but when I mean, so it's a first draft, but it's a complete first draft. So, all the component parts should be there. Okay, so talking about the week 3 women's session, again, there's a Google Doc that you will need to click on and then put your name there. And then, well, you put your name there obviously sometime before then. And if depending on the size of the class, there may be more than one day for you that's available for you to go ahead and sign up. And so if that's the case, please feel free to pick whichever day works best for you. You are not required, if there are multiple days, to be there more than one day. You'll sign it up. You'll put your so you'll 24 hours before the session, like I said, you'll put the URL to your leadership document so that myself and our classmates can go ahead and click it and then open your document. Really important, especially if you're using Google Docs, to make sure that when you post your document that you set the privacy to anyone with the URL. Do not set it to private, because if I click on it and I can't read it, I can't give you a grade. Not such a good thing. So please make sure 24 hours you have the URL up there. Now, here's a little word to the wise. Go ahead and put the URL up there, even if you're still kind of working on it, because remember, it's going to be we're looking at a rough draft, so it's not going to be totally complete. Don't wait until the last minute to post the URL. That's kind of annoying because we want to have time to be able to. And the idea of the 24 hours is that when we actually get together, we want to be able to give you meaningful feedback, and we can't do that if we've never seen the document before. So when we actually do get together, what we'll do is we'll have folks will go ahead and volunteer, and when they volunteer, when it's their turn to share, I have a timer, and you'll get 7 minutes to share kind of a brief walkthrough of either your document or your presentation. We will all have copies on our own computer. Remember, because you had posted it earlier. So when you do the walkthrough, you just tell us what page to look at and what slide to look at, and then you just walk us through it very quickly, about 7 minutes, and then there will be about 3 minutes for us to give you some meaningful feedback. And that's why we want to get that document up there early, so that we can go ahead and really, give it some time so that you get some meaningful feedback. That's the value of this whole thing. The objective of this whole exercise is for you to have a better document by Monday. Simple. Okay, so let's talk about some resources. First resource that you'll find actually at the bottom if you go into FSO, scroll down, week 4 leadership project. If you click and you scroll down, you should find Dr. Bedard's journals and conferences list. And basically it's a link because she's created a Google Doc where she's going through and trying to find different places where you can share either in a publication or in a conference. And so I like to say this is a good beginner's list for you to go through to kind of see what it is that our objective is and our status is. And then if you find something either in your region or in your grade level, if you're a classroom teacher, or in your area of speciality that's appropriate, then you are more than welcome to go ahead and make that submission or make that recommendation. Send us the information, and then we'll add this to Dr. Bedard's list. What we're looking for primarily is regional, national, or international conferences when it comes to presentations, or we're looking for academic or national publications. As much as staff development is important for training, district training days, we're really looking for opportunities that are above and beyond those sorts of deals. So look beyond a staff training day, either district-wise or site-wise. We're looking much higher than that. And don't be discouraged in terms of distances. You'd be surprised. There are ways to get funded for these particular things. So don't let that limit your vision. And then based on we talk about this as based on your capstone continuum. The more academic the paper, the more they're going to want the full story of what you did: intro, lit review, methodology, results, conclusion, a balance between the 5 sections. So it's not all lit review, probably been APA. When you think about this is more you're going to be copying and pasting what you did, and then you're going to edit it to make it look like one document. Then on the other end of the continuum is, like I said, it's based on your capstone, is the user-friendly kinds of publications and conferences. And their focus tends to be more on the conclusion, such as 5 things I learned when I used Web2 tools in the classroom. So they're looking at the results. And so consequently, your capstone project itself becomes much more of an introduction to the body of your paper or of your presentation. So in this instance, you'll end up doing more writing because you're thinking of things that you have learned, or you could even kind of project into the future, what you would do if you were going to do either a phase or a cycle 3. So the more user-friendly on a continuum, the more you're probably going to do more writing and use your capstone as the basis for this launching into your conclusion. The more academic is going to want to see the whole process from beginning to end. And you're open to do either one, basically. And also this possibility lends itself towards those who don't feel particularly good about the way their capstone project went. You ran into all kinds of problems, those sorts of things. You don't have to feel like, well, my capstone project stinks and I don't want to publish it. What you can do is be on the user-friendly side and say, okay, these are the things that I learned, and if I'm going to do it again, these are the things that I would do. So that's kind of the idea behind that. So the month 12 component basically is all you need to do is actually from the time you decide where you want to do it till week 3 of month 12 is make the submission. Go on the website, make the submission, and then almost always what they will do is they will automatically give you some kind of notice that they've gotten your submission. Right? I got mine when I did Macworld. It automatically came back to me and said, we got it. Thank you very much. And that's all you need to turn in to Dr. Bedard to get credit for month 12. You don't have to be accepted. You just need to show proof that you've submitted for the conference. Okay, so the grade, we need to talk about that. This project is about 26% of your final grade in this course. And I break that down between the different component parts. Week 1 and week 2 leadership posts are 10% each. The week 3 hub is 20%, and the document itself is 60%. And the thing that you really need to recognize, this is important to do, obviously, 26%, but if your capstone project has not been approved, you need to get that done because you cannot get this grade if that grade is not completed. So if it's one of these sorts of things. Capstone is not completed because, of course, you need that to get into month 12. You need that to graduate. This project is important, but this project actually kind of has a focus in what am I going to do after I graduate. So with that kind of balance in mind, finish the capstone, get the well done, and then boom, you're free and clear to do this and get the other 26% of the course grade. So again, this project is due at the very beginning of week 4. Really, there are no extensions because I have to have your grade and everything ready to go by the end of week 4 so that we can get you into month 12. So that's kind of how we're doing this sort of thing. If you have any questions when we get together in the WIMBA session, primarily WIMBA session 2, but also in WIMBA session 1, please feel free to ask questions. You can email me questions and I will share the questions and my answers with the group. Our objective is to see you get to the next level and succeed and really get a chance to take advantage of the hard work that you've been doing this year. So I really look forward to working with you on this leadership project. It's an unexpected thing to do, but I think you guys are going to be happy with the results, and it's going to really reap some great benefits down the road. So looking forward to it. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.